Let's talk to Jiti Ogunye. He joins us now on this matter. Thank you for coming on this morning.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, all of this to the extent that sometimes they confuse many people, certain court injunctions, some going to court to stop the speaker, some saying no, prevail on the speaker to read letters. It's all just looking mixed up, but you also have been observing this from a distance. You've seen several reports, in fact, some, as at yesterday, saying pro-Gbajabiamila group accepting certain offer from the speaker's camp. Where do you see all this headed?
Nowhere. Nowhere.
Do you even see them agreeing on anything?
No. What is going on is an intense power struggle. A power struggle that is purposed to enable those who are struggling to occupy positions. Now these days you hear people talking about juicy committees and so on and so forth. So what is going on is not about thinking about doing the job of legislation and all the other things that legislators do. I think it's about how we occupy legislative offices and how we can fester our own nest.
But we thought that, when these elections happened, many perhaps left up, maybe people expect them to have turned a new leaf going into this 8th National Assembly. But for this kind of ideas and mindset still prevailing, that raises a lot of questions, doesn't it?
Hope is one thing, reality is another. The Nigerian people hope very much that politicians will turn a new leaf, but the reality that is staring all of us in the face is that whole habits die hard. The leopard, the last time I checked, never shed its spots. Let's face it, where did you source these new politicians with this new vision, this new mindset, this new idea of how to turn the country around? Where were they sourced from? Sourced from the same cesspit of political jostling, if you will, that we had people jumping from one political party to the other, just prostituting around politically in order to occupy offices. And that's why I said it here several episodes ago, that we're dealing with power mongers. I said it, and that resonated, and people started using that term. We're dealing with power mongers. They don't care about the fine lines of principle, how you have to maintain fidelity to a party, to a cause. Now, all they're saying is that they are no longer loyal to their party, they are loyal to Nigeria.
Exactly. Now, that's what I was trying to say, that look, the debate has been couched in very many ways. It's just that sometimes you have to take off those layers, perhaps for you to get to the layer that you're talking about. But let's take a look at it from the layers, that it has been, or the sides that the perspective has been taken from. A party supremacy, Nigerian constitution supremacy, supremacy of the sovereignty of the Nigerian people, the independence of the National Assembly. How does this play out for you? Are these debates really necessary? Wouldn't we have had them anyway?
No, it's very diversionary and very annoying, really, because the basic expectation of Nigerians, and I wish I could say this, assuming that I know what the expectations of Nigerians are. The basic expectation of Nigerians regarding the National Assembly is that they will go to the House. There was a new majority. An opposition party had come to power. That opposition party had constituted the executive branch of government. At the first arm of government, which is the legislature, will also be similarly constituted. They will listen to their party. The party will field candidates. Everything will just go smoothly. But personal ambitions now clash with group interest. And so we then saw a situation in which people who claim to be members of the same party will not subject themselves to the principle of internal party democracy. What people poo-pooed as APC's mishandling of the matter was a quintessential handling of conflicting interests within a political party. If the members of your party or the member of your family have conflicting interests, how do you resolve that without being dictatorial? It's by calling them to order and say, subject yourself to an electoral process, a sham electoral process, and let's test the acceptability and popularity of each and every one of you.
Shouldn't that have happened?
So that you will be banned by that decision. No, so that party...
Isn't that the problem? Why would you want to ban, quote and unquote, and something? Shouldn't that happen on the floor of the House?
No.
At a democratic
setting?
No.
Those who are mouthing this, do they know how political parties run? Even in student union politics. I was the head of a student union. In the 80s, in the 90s, all those days, glorious days of NASS, you will first decide within who you are going to field before the electorate.
In a democratic way.
In a democratic way.
But the problem is they say it wasn't democratic.
What they say doesn't matter. It's what is the reality. What is not democratic about you being called to say that, come and participate in this process?
Because the party, it would seem, had a mindset. When they protested and said that... First of all, let me land on that. That's what I'm saying. It was
Did you follow the way the election went?
I did not say it was, that was what it was. But they said it would seem. Because first of all, they said they were given, what do they call that now, agenda that did not even contain that. They just saw it somewhere, tucked in somewhere. Nobody informed them that was going to be the purpose of that particular meeting. And then when they asked for secret ballots, this is within the party, that list should have been granted so that people will not have the fear of repercussion. That wasn't granted. Can we really say that it was democratic in that instance?
Secret ballots.
Yes.
And open ballots are just forms of electioneering. When we had option A4 in this country, was it democratic to have option A4? To have people queue behind their candidates? Was that democratic or not democratic?
But people agreed.
When people are saying that today that was the best election we ever had in this country.
But we agreed to it.
Exactly.
But this case, they said they didn't agree to it.
So they are the ones disagreeing.
The members was on.
They are the ones disagreeing. Look, this is my own reading of the situation. I don't know what any other person's reading is. This is my own reading. The party conducted something, APC. They conducted their straw poll. The minority that fear that if it went into that election, it will suffer a majoritarian control, and that decision will be binding on it, and that its position will be worse, elected to opt out of those processes, and then linked up with a PDP that was ready to cut a deal and block vote for that minority segment of that party. So if you are now saying that, people are saying that that's not democratic, and I ask, what is not democratic about that?
Yeah, but you say what?
I have told you that my view about this matter is that it's not about words that are being bandied, democracy, national interest, federal character. It's about hunting for power. Because, you see, the National Assembly is awash with money and privileges and opportunities. So being politicians, particularly of the Nigerian ilk, why do you think that they won't want to occupy such positions or covet them? Throw aside all that is noble and good just to get to those positions. And so, you can say whatever you want to say.
But it's covetousness.
I have the right to interpret it differently.
I'm just wondering, is covetousness in politics you're saying now? To covet political offices. I mean,
no,
they all aspire, don't they?
I'm answering your question. Ambition is legitimate. I've said it here before. Obama was ambitious. He was a senator. A lot of people wanted to put him down and say, no, it's not your turn. You are too young and all that. Still go to the Senate and serve more. But he said no. He was focused. Ambition is legitimate. But in Nigeria, what kind of ambition do we have in our political space? Is an ambition that will make one person to be in one party and start cutting a deal with another. Did Obama do that to emerge? I'm just giving an example and extrapolating. Okay. Ambition is legitimate, it's good. But in fact, if you are not ambitious in politics, I reckon that you ought not to be there.